The federal government entered a partial shutdown early Saturday morning, seeing that the last shutdown that we had lasted 43 days. As our government officials try to avoid another lengthy government shutdown, will they allow other people's agendas to be implemented into this bill that could affect you locally? Even after the Senate passed a funding package hours earlier, the shutdown is expected to be brief as the House of Representatives is set to vote on the measure when it reconvenes on Monday. Senate passes funding package. The Senate approved a legislative package by 71 to 29 vote that includes 5 appropriation bills along with 2-week stopgap measure. However, the House must also approve the deal before it can be sent to President Trump for his signature. Since the House isn't scheduled to return to Washington until Monday, the government entered what officials hope will be a short-lived shutdown. This follows last year's record 43-day shutdown. What is affected? Appropriations expired Saturday for multiple government departments and agencies, including State Department, Defense Department, Department of Homeland Security, Labor Department, Health and Human Services, Transportation Department, Education Department, Housing and Urban Development, Financial Services, and related programs. Russell Vaught, Director of the Office of Management and Budget, instructed federal agency heads to have employees report to their next scheduled shift to conduct orderly shutdown activities. He expressed hope that the lapse would be brief. DHS funding stripped out. A key element of Senate agreement was to remove a long-term funding for the Department of Homeland Security from the main package. Instead, DHS will be temporarily funded through a stopgap measure, with its long-term appropriations to be addressed later. This decision comes from amid intense Democratic criticism of DHS over aggressive immigration enforcement actions in Minnesota. Republican holdout delays process. So the Senate vote was delayed by Republican Senate Lindsey Graham of South Carolina, who placed a hold on the measure. Graham demanded a guaranteed vote on his bill to criminalize sanctuary city policy, which would impose criminal penalties on state and local officials who interfere with federal immigration enforcement. So what's going on in Minnesota right now could be going on in a city near you. Graham also saw an amendment related to the Arctic frost investigation by former special counsel Jack Smith, requiring officials to notify senators if their phone records are obtained during criminal investigation. So there's some reason there why our government officials do not want phone records obtained under investigations, because it's something going on under the covers. We don't know, supposedly, quote unquote. But path forward. House Speaker Mike Johnson indicated on a GOP conference call Friday that he would support the Senate-passed deal, citing President Trump's backing of the agreement. Johnson said he hopes the House will pass the bill Monday. Trump encouraged lawmakers to support the deal in a Truth social media post Thursday. The funding package would keep most of the federal government operational through the end of the fiscal year on September 30th. So the end of the fiscal year is actually September 30th. Once the House approves the measure, it will be sent to President Trump for his signature, ending the shutdown. But there's some very key points in there to where the Democrats may have to allow terrorizing people on our own land. And if the officials in those local cities or governors of the states interfere, they will be penalized or possibly forced to step down. So Are we walking and we moving into this era, people? Let me know.